Now guys, another patch comes and goes, another title update on FC25, and the 4-2-1-3 is still the best formation in the game. I don't think they can kill it at this point, man. It's just unstoppable. Now the 95 depth might have been nerfed, and maybe it did work amazingly with that depth, but even with the new meta, the 70 depth meta that's coming in now, the 4-2-1-3 is still the best option if you're looking for the best formation in the game, and these tactics I'm about to give you are the best version of the 4-2-1-3 that I've found, to the point where when I record these videos I get highlights for the end bit, and this week, well, I usually play 2 or 3 games. I think I ended up playing 4 or 5 because only one of them went the distance. The rest rage quit in the first half because I was just absolutely battering them with these tactics. So like always, I'm going to talk you through each player role and how we set them up. So if you're impatient, you can just get that bit and then try out for yourselves. However, I'd recommend sticking around till the end of the video if you can, because what I'll do afterwards is talk you through each player role, what sort of player you need there, and show you some highlights of how it actually works in game, so you get a feel of what you need to be doing. But anyway, let's get right into it. And the formation, as we probably all knew, the best formation still on the game is the 4-2-1-3. I honestly think that Darwin Núñez will win the Ballon d'Or before this formation is not the best formation. It is just so cracked, man. But for the build-up style, like with many of the formations that I run now, I'm going to be running counter. The meta at the moment seems to be a deep block with the quick counter attack, so you want to be running counter so that your players get into their attacking positions as quickly as possible, but also that they're constantly bombing in behind. The opponents are going to make mistakes now that the 95 depth isn't AI defending for them anymore. This is where you want to sort of capitalise on those mistakes, have your players high up the pitch, run in behind, and you'll score an absolute shed ton of goals, especially in this formation. Now the defensive approach part of my videos I think is going to get very boring from now on. I think every formation I'll probably run 70. It's just the best way to go. Unless you may be looking for an ultra-attacking formation, and then you could still run 95. All it's done is nerf the sort of pressure, okay? 95 depth is still viable, man. On an ultra-attacking formation, getting your players as high up the pitch as possible, run the 95. But for a balanced way of playing this 4-2-1-3 and the best way, I would now run 70. Moving on to the player roles now, and your goalkeeper's personal preference, whichever plus you've got / are most comfortable with. Both your fullbacks are on fullback and defend. Both your centre backs are on defender and defend. Both your CDMs are on deep line playmaker and build up, with your cam being on shadow striker and attack. Both your wingers are on inside forward and balanced, and your striker is on advanced forward and attack. And here's what it looks like with the ball, man. Very attacking sort of 4-3-3 that you've got here, but it doesn't actually play like this. So both your CDMs will actually push up the pitch because they're on deep line playmaker build up, and then your advanced forward and your cam most of the time, if you're in the final third, will split, and it'll become more of a 4-2-4, which is an incredible attacking formation in itself. But this is so solid attacking and defensively, man. When you defend, you've got this line of 6 that are really difficult to get past. But when you attack, you've also attacking with sort of 6 players with these 2 CDMs getting involved. It's so easy to overload your opponent. And in this 4-2-1-3, especially the wing play, the wingers are just always on. Like, they're always in an incredible position. And you're just going to have such silky build-up that your opponent's just not going to be able to stop you. But that's it for the player roles, guys. And if you've been on the channel before, you've been around a while, you're a top bro, by the way, thank you, but also it's not changed from the last time I did one of these videos. The only thing that's changed is the depth, and there's a very key reason for that. These are the best roles. I'm sorry, but if anyone's telling you to run like false back or winger plus or anything like that, play around with it, man. You do what you want. It's your game at the end of the day, but I'm telling you that these are the best roles. You just want to keep it simple. Don't mess around with any crazy stuff, because this is the one that's going to get you those wins. But now let's dig a little deeper on what sort of players you actually need in each position here, and how that's going to help you in your build-up, and how it's going to help you score more goals and get more wins. And whilst we're at it, I'll try and show you some highlights of the limited games that I've had over the last couple of days, because like I say, this formation has just demolished everything in its path, man. It is unreal. Now for your goalkeeper, personal preference as always, I'd say go for someone tall. The more playstyles, the better. They're going to make mistakes anyway. You just want the best rated goalkeeper you can get at a good height. And I mentioned in the last video that I was going to get the Immortals Buffon if I saved the money, and I did. And to be fair, here's an improvement on my 89 Van der Sar. For both your fullbacks in this formation, the main thing you want to be looking at is that they're good defensively. It's maybe a case that you will use them in the attack occasionally, you're going to use them to build up, they're often an outball to your wingers, but primarily you want them sitting in a line of 4, and that's why you've got them on fullback defend. And I'd say of probably a couple of positions in this formations, but these fullbacks are definitely one that you need on a plus role, because it's just so crucial, because there's so much wing play in FC25. You need your fullbacks in the right place at all times. You don't want them bombing up the field. You don't want to be dragging them out of that defensive line of 4, because that's when the quick counter meta comes against you and you're just going to concede a load of goals. These 4 players, you want them sat in a line at all times. You don't want these fullbacks bombing forward, but you want them on a plus that if the ball does manage to get out to their wing or you make a small mistake, they're fast enough and strong enough to get back and cover. So in the gameplay, I'm using the Teletubby Lala and Nuno Mendes, both incredible defensively, both meta players, and both players that I'd probably happy to play at centre half if I needed to. But they have both got decent passing play styles as well, so if I do get them on the ball, I don't have to worry that they're just going to get wrecked. They're not like centre backs. It's a case that I will be able to build up with them, but primarily, if I make a mistake, or if there's an amazing counter coming against me, I need these players fast enough, strong enough, and good enough to make those tackles, make those interceptions, get me back on the ball so I can counter myself. For both your centre-backs, it's bread and butter, as always, defender-defend. Defender-defend is just the best role for a centre-back, hands down. You don't need to run anything else. You want Defender++, which because of how the meta is, literally FC25 has given everyone, like EA has given every defender that comes out now Defender++, because if you don't have it, you're just going to be screwed, man. Defender++, try and get them with Anticipate as well, it'll help you out no end, especially now that the AI defending's been nerfed further than it was in the big patch in December. But yeah, you want them with Anticipate if you can. I've got Cabasi, I don't know how you pronounce that, I'm not Spanish. But you've got him, and I've got that new Alexandro Team of the Season card. And yeah, both are absolutely incredible. Both have got Anticipate, and they're just there to win the ball. Like, I don't want them doing anything fancy. I don't want them bombing up the pitch on ball playing defender or anything. I want them sitting in that line of 4, like I said, with the fullbacks, always covering my goalkeeper, covering my goal, stopping their forwards from making through balls and through ball runs, and just generally getting in the way of things, blocking shots, tackling people, making last-ditch interceptions. That's what these players are for. You want them fast, you want them tall, you want them strong, and if you can, it's not the most important, but if they are decent on the ball and dribbling, it is a help. Many Team of the Season cards will help you with this now, and they're all dirt cheap as well, which is amazing for us average gamers. But they will be helpful if you do win the ball back, if they can make a killer pass, but primarily defend, defend, defend. Moving on to the holding midfielders now, and as you can see, I run Foot Immortals, Icon, Evolution, and N'Golo Kante. Try saying that when you're drunk. And I also run an Evo version that I've got of the Prime Yaya Toure, where all his stats but pace are above 90. And that's what you want in both these positions, man. You're looking for box-to-box players for both of them. And I've, in the past, and even when I think I last did this formation video, I said that you want to be looking for one that's more of a holding midfielder and one that's more of a box-to-box. But now I've gone more towards both of them being box-to-box players. But you want them incredibly defensively and incredible on the attack as well. Because these players are so frequently your outball from defence, and as well when you win the ball back. If you wanted to, you could just defend with these players. The AI will do the back 4 for you, you don't have to worry too much. But these two players are the ones that you want to manually control the most, because they'll be the ones cutting off the passes, making the interception. So you want them to be good at defending, because they are going to find themselves in defensive areas quite a lot. On Deep Line Playmaker, when you're defending, they will sit sort of just in front of your back 4. A little bit too high for my liking, I'll be honest, but the 70 depth does help with that now. 95 depth, they were always quite high up. They're always pressing to win the ball. Now they sit and they are proper sort of deep line playmakers now. But then when you win the ball back, this is where build up is key. I see people running holding, I see people running deep line playmaker defend, and it just doesn't give it the attacking prowess that this formation can have. It's good no matter what you run, man. I'm not going to tell you anything different. If you're comfortable running holding on these two CDMs, you go for it. It's whatever works for you here. As you can see, Yaya Toure hasn't got a ++ in deep line playmaker. I always want to have my players on ++, but it just, because of the build up and the sort of box to box nature of deep line playmaker build up, Yaya just works so well here, and this Kante card does as well. But I strongly recommend you run Deep Line Playmaker build-up just because of how it helps in the attack. It's amazing defensively as a role now. With the 70 depth, they sit in a really good place. But then when you're on the attack, at least one of them is really going to help you in the build-up. And that's all you can ask for, man. The more players you've got going forward, the easier it is to overload your opponent, and you're going to score more goals. And then as a result, get those wins. Now for your camp, you're going to run Shadow Striker attack. And like I was saying in the with the ball section earlier, the Shadow Striker just converts your formation into sort of a 4-2-4, especially when you're in the final third. And that just gives you so many options to pass the ball to. But what I would say is, you play around with this role. You need a ++ there because it's such a crucial position. This player will be the one that is sort of always involved. There'll always be an outball pass, be it a ping pass, be it a lobbed pass. They're always the one that sort of stood on the halfway line when you break. So you want them to be good at close control. You want them to be good at dribbling in tight spaces, but you need them to be able to play a killer pass. And what I'd say is, with the 95 depth nerf, I am also, in a lot of formations, now swaying towards playmaker a little bit more, which I never thought I would, but it works really well in this formation. But for me, this formation in particular, I just think Shadow Striker is just amazing. Like, the amount of runs that this Maradona card makes for me all the time in game, man, and I swap him for Marmoush and it's the exact same thing. They're always an attacking threat, but they're always there to receive the ball. And I think on Shadow Striker, what I find, and I think what I prefer, because there is a little bit of space between your DMs and your wingers, the Shadow Striker role makes diagonal runs a lot more, and they'll look for the ball. Whereas on Playmaker, it's a little bit more static, and it can be a little bit more difficult to find them, even though when you do find them, they're always in a good position to ping a pass. But I just find Shadow Striker in this formation just has the edge. But you can run a bit of personal preference here. Like, cams are personal preference. I like mine to be quite small, quite agile. Obviously they need to be incredible at passing, but you can get big players that are good at passing. I could run Yaya here if I wanted to, but I just prefer small agile players that are just going to be able to make those incisive tiki-taka runs, and they're always going to be available. I like them quick, I like them small, like them lean, so that they can run through and score goals for me, or collect the ball on the half turn, keep possession of the ball really well, and then ping it out to the wings or through to my striker in on goal. Now for both your wingers in this formation, this is probably the role I've seen messed about with the most in the 4-2-1-3. Streamers and the like, all doing weird stuff. You don't need to, man. Inside forward balanced is the way to go. It's so simple. They always make a good run. They're always there to receive it in the 4-2-1-3. They're really difficult to keep hold of. Don't run anything different. For both your wingers, you want them quick. I'd say preferably you want to be looking for rapid in this formation, just because they find so much space. You're often one-on-one against the fullback. So if you've got rapid, it just gives you that little bit of pace boost that when you get one-on-one with a defender, you can run faster than they can with the ball. And it just gets you in behind so often. And then you've got the opportunity to take the shot or do a cutback to one of your strikers. But as you can see, I'm running the oh my god, what's it called? The Showdown, was it? Ansu Fati, the one where Barcelona won, I don't know. But yeah, I'm running him and Donyell Malen, the FC fantasy version, and both of these are the sort of players you want to be looking for. Decent physically, great first touch, rapid on the ball, and just able to, if you wanted to put them up front, do you a job. Because you're going to get so many scoring opportunities with these wingers, as well as passing opportunities. You just need them to be all-round amazing players, and these two are for me. And the amount of times that this is your outball in this formation, you need these to be among the best players on the pitch. You need them to be on a ++ role so they perform as best as they can, and I promise you, it will yield you great results. Then finally, for your striker, bread and butter, it's very rare that I run something different. Advanced forward attack is just the best that there is at the moment. There's nothing that's going to change that. I'd love to have a ++ player here, but I've got Suarez Strike Force Evo or Omar Marmoush to play up front, the FC Fantasy or whatever it was. I got lucky with some packs this year, okay, but yeah, I'm not going to not run them. So, but on a plus on advanced forward attack is better than Marmoush on false 9 or Suarez on poacher. especially in one striker formation, advanced forwards attack just works really well. They'll come short when you need them to, show themselves for the ball, and then they can ping it out to that winger that's always free. But alternatively, when you get that opportunity, you know they're just going to make the perfect run in behind, and if you've got good first touch, 9 times out of 10 you're going to be able to do a low driven, a finesse, a trivela into the corner, and you're not even going to be stopped by the opposition's defenders. But yeah, that's all there is to it, guys, I'm afraid. Still, after, what's this now, the 14th title update, the 4-2-1-3 is still the best formation on the game. People will call you boring. People will say you're a rat. Who cares, man? If you're here to win games, this 4-2-1-3 will win you games. I like to think I'm a good FIFA player, but these last few days where I've literally had people rage quitting every 5 minutes, I've never felt so pro in my life. This formation, honestly, I only did a video on it a few weeks ago, but with the post-patch depth nerf, I just wanted to let you know that it's still insane, and dare I say it, I feel like it's actually playing better than it did before. Because players can't press you as high now, you've got so much space, and because of the amazing positions these players take up, you're just going to score so many goals, man. On screen for you now is the code. Note it down. Give it a try for yourselves, guys. If you do try it, pop a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But yeah, it's super simple, but super effective. And I like to play some wacky formations, man. But I'm here to guide you guys. And if you want to win more games, this is the formation to do it in, because it's just insane. Don't mess around with the roles too much. Don't try anything fun. If you want to win games, the boring 4-2-1-3 is the way to go. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, or if this formation helps you out, don't forget to drop the video a like. It helps me out no end, but it also helps fellow average gamers find this formation and hopefully get more wins themselves. If you're new around here and you're looking for more couple of daily FC25 content, why not tickle my subscribe button? It'd mean the world to me. Terribly sorry if there's not many highlights in this video. I'm obviously going to edit the highlights in after recording this. But yeah, it's just such a good formation that I just couldn't get a full game. I got 1 out of 5. Like, yeah, it's difficult, but I'm not going to complain. 5 wins, like, yeah, the formation's just cracked. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. You've made it this far, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Speak to you soon. Bye!